Right now, there's a good chance you're taking the most studied supplement on Earth and getting almost nothing out of it. Creatine. Maybe it's sitting in your cupboard, maybe you take it for the gym, but the organ that craves it most isn't your muscle. It's this one, your brain, the thing burning a fifth of your energy just to read this sentence. Here's the catch nobody mentions. The scoop you take barely reaches your brain at all, unless one specific thing is true about you. And when it is, the effect is fast, measurable, almost unfair. So let's settle this properly. 4 things decide whether creatine does anything for your mind. The dose, the state, the form, and the one that stunned the researchers themselves. A single dose that hauled a sleep-wrecked brain back from the edge in under 4 hours, that one's last. And by the time we get there, you'll know exactly which group you're in, the people this quietly sharpens, or the people politely pouring their money down the drain. First, why your brain even cares about a gym supplement. Your brain never switches off. To think fast, it burns energy at a brutal rate, and it keeps a tiny rechargeable battery on hand, the creatine system, to top its fuel back up in milliseconds. When that battery runs low, you already know the feeling. The 3 p.m. fog, the words stuck on the tip of your tongue, reading the same line 3 times and taking in none of it. So the logic writes itself. Add creatine, charge the battery, think sharper. Except in healthy, well-rested people, the standard dose often does nothing you could measure. Nothing. That gap between what should happen and what actually does is the whole video. 4 pieces explain it, and we'll take them one at a time like a checklist. Number 1 is the reason your current creatine is probably useless above the neck. Number 1, the dose. Your muscles are greedy, 5 grams a day, and they're topped up inside a month. That's the creatine you know, gym creatine. But your brain isn't your bicep. It sits behind a security gate, the blood-brain barrier, and it treats its creatine level like a thermostat it refuses to let you touch. Take more, and it mostly shrugs. How stubborn are we talking? In brain scans, it took around 20 grams a day, every day, for 4 weeks, just to raise brain creatine by under 10%. 4 times the gym dose for a single-digit nudge. Meanwhile, most people swallow 5 grams for a few days and wait to feel like a genius. The biology was never going to play along. So tick number 1 off the list, your standard dose barely touches your brain. But, and this is where it gets good, some of the best trials still found a real jump in thinking. Same molecule, barely any of it reaching the brain. Big effect anyway. How is that even possible? There's a hidden variable, and it splits everyone who's ever taken creatine into 2 camps. That's number 2, and honestly, it's the most useful thing you'll hear today. One quick thing, then the answer? If this already changed how you'd read a supplement label, hit subscribe and tap the bell. That's the deal. I dig through the studies, you never miss one. Now, the hidden variable. Number 2, the state your brain is in. This is the hidden variable. Creatine doesn't upgrade a healthy brain. It refills a drained one. Say it with me, a refill, not a boost. It only does something when your brain is already running on empty. And 3 things drain that tank. The first is your plate. Creatine in food comes almost entirely from meat and fish. Eat little or none, and you start lower. And in exactly those people, creatine has improved memory and reasoning in controlled trials. Give the identical pill to steady meat eaters, tested the same way, and the effect mostly evaporates. Same molecule, opposite result. The only thing that changed was where they started. The second is age. Pool the studies together, and the clearest memory gains show up in older adults, not students. Exactly what you'd expect from a refill for a battery that's slowly losing its charge. Now the part most channels quietly skip, and it's the part that should make you trust the rest. When one famous meta-analysis was rerun with stricter math, its overall benefit basically vanished everywhere except older adults. And a large trial in healthy people found nothing at all. So this is real, but it is not magic, and it is flat out not for everyone. The whole thing hangs on one word, drained. That's number 2, the big one, done. 2 left. Number 3 takes 10 seconds and saves you money for the rest of your life. And number 4 is the one I promised, the single dose that rescues a wrecked brain in hours. Stay right there. Number 3, the form. 10 seconds, as promised. In the supplement aisle, you'll see hydrochloride, buffered, ethyl ester. Each one fancier, each one pricier, each one promising better absorption. The truth? Plain creatine monohydrate is the version that was actually tested in nearly every study we've talked about. The premium forms have never once beaten it head-to-head. So, buy the boring tub. That's number 3, and you just saved yourself money for life. You're welcome. Which leaves the one I promised. Number 4, everything so far was about daily use. But there's a scenario that breaks every rule we've set and where creatine works on a healthy brain in a single dose, in hours instead of weeks. The catch is brutal. That brain has to be wrecked first. 2024, researchers keep volunteers awake for 21 hours. No sleep, the brain running on fumes. Then, one large dose of creatine, about 1/3 of a gram per kilo of body weight, and within hours, their memory and mental speed held up far better than the placebo group. The brain scans showed exactly why. Their energy reserves, phosphocreatine and ATP, measurably refilled. A burnt-out brain topped back up in a single afternoon. So, put all four together. This is either you or it isn't, sleep-deprived, plant-based, or older. Creatine has a real shot at sharpening your mind. Young, rested, and eating meat. Take it for your training, but be honest with yourself. Your thinking probably won't budge. And whoever you are, monohydrate, taken consistently, because that brain battery fills slowly. 3 things to carry out of here. 1, for your brain, creatine is a refill, not a boost. It helps most when you're running on empty. 2, your normal dose feeds your muscle, barely your mind. 3, buy monohydrate and never pay extra for fancy. So, do one honest thing today. Work out which group you're actually in. Short on sleep, off meat, or getting older? Worth a real try? Young, rested, and eating steak? Keep your money for something that'll actually move the needle. If you got something out of this, here's the deal. Subscribe and hit the bell. I go dig through the studies so you don't have to, every single week. And next week's a good one. Omega-3, algae, fish, or flax, and which form your body can genuinely absorb. Same rule as always, evidence over hype. Last thing, and I mean it, this is information, not medical advice. Kidney issues, on medication, or just not sure? Talk to your doctor before you start. Take care of that brain. I'll see you next week.